Quick, 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 quick. Get. Okay. There you go, mate.
It's working. Here we are, mate.
G'day,
We're
mate.
here.
How's that? Crikey. Hey, it's a
Something
bit
a bit different.
swish,
You like that? You like
What's
that?
going on there, buddy?
Bit different. Thought
What's
we'd have a bit of a
happening?
play around.
Have a look at you, you IT nerd. You got the glasses,
Come
the
on, mate.
hat, you got it all going on there, mate.
Come on, mate.
What's happening?
Someone's got to wear this.
It's been a big week in IT
Hasn't
at
it, Josh?
2SG.
Yeah, hasn't it?
Eh?
Massive for us.
Have a look at it. So now we've got the nice little intro, we got the nice pictures going on, we've got a nice border around our thing telling you who we are and where to find us. Look at that.
Mate,
It's all
spent a
mine.
bit of time mucking around in
No.
all my spare time.
No need to ask what your highlights of the week were
I
then.
know, yeah. G'day, Pete. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us.
Ah, look at that, PB. Good to see you, buddy. And hope your week's gone well, and hopefully you've got some highlights
Actually, I'll
for
tell you
us.
what, we've got someone coming up that he'll love.
Yeah, oh,
I'll tell you what.
really?
Yeah, he'll be.
Oh, it's
he'll
right
love
up your
the guest,
alley?
isn't it?
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a lot of
he'll
things.
love 'em, yeah.
A lot of things that are
A
right
few
up
things
his
up
alley.
his alley, yeah.
Anyway, what are your
Anyway, here we
highlights,
are.
Al?
Highlights. What have I done
Highlights
this week?
of the week.
I don't
Let's
know. What
do
have we done?
highlights.
Obviously, with the new production software that we've got now at
Yeah.
2SD that's going to
Look at us, go.
hopefully smooth things out a little bit and
Yeah.
help the processes along. And
Lighting's
make
up and
things
running, and
easier
we're looking a
yeah.
bit fancy. It's
Yeah, but
it's
I
all
mean,
going on.
one of the big things this week, the vaccine's landed in Australia. And
Yeah, we did.
how
We
good's
did.
that?
It's all
Feels,
right.
apart from those poor people in Queensland that ended up with 4 shots of it.
You think it was Arpoo's medical clinic that dispensed
Tell
the
you what,
vaccine,
They've sacked the doctor though.
and they got rid of him?
He's been fired. Yeah.
Oh well, so he should. But,
But he wasn't trained properly in the first place.
and
So
that's the issue. So, and then I hear on the radio today that it's the same company that was responsible
yeah.
for all the hoo-ha that went on at Holiday Inn here
Yeah.
in Melbourne with the vapor, what's it called, the vaporizer that guy had.
Oh yeah.
It's the same company. And they asked Dan Andrews at an interview today about it. Oh, no connection.
Yeah.
It's all good, nothing to see
idea.
here. Move
Yeah,
along.
nothing to see.
Move along.
Get on the
Anyway.
beers.
Anyway, get on the
Actually, talking
beers.
about beers. We've got no beers tonight.
What's going on? What do you mean no beers?
Going
Mate,
teetotal for a week.
You had bloody one job.
One job, I know, that
and
was
you're
it.
stuck with IT.
busy,
But
mate,
anyway,
look.
hey, I'll tell you
Here's
what
us.
was
We'll
cool.
grab one in a minute. We'll get soups onto it.
AFL practice matches. So
Was
the
it?
men's AFL kicked off today. First practice
Why
match.
would they bother? After
What was the
last,
result,
After
yeah?
last season, why would they bother?
Did you hear what
The
the
Bombers
result
got
was?
up over Carlton, didn't they?
No, I think you might have got that wrong. I think it was a 21 point. And there's another reason. Hi, wifey. Hi, sister. Hey, Jared.
Hey, Jared, how are you? What's 50 stars?
50 stars. That means that we're getting paid to be on here now.
How
How
good's
good's
that?
that? Yeah,
Jesus.
keep them rolling. Buy your
Why isn't
stars.
everyone else paying?
Buy your stars and send them to us, you lot. We
Thanks,
love it.
Jared.
That's a good way of supporting us. It's
Thanks,
just
brother.
putting money in the bank. Good on you, buddy. Hey, so
I tell you what, Jared, actually, I spoke to someone today about your badge as well for your Oak Joe's Smoker. I should have actually rang you today.
I
but
was
yes,
going to
there
say,
is
so
one on the way.
that's not a conversation you could have with your brother-in-law over the phone.
I
We're
know,
going to get
yeah.
on here to talk about.
That's easy to do, isn't it?
Jeez, here you go.
Hey, Shelley.
Hit it all in one go. Hey, Maths is back. What's
Is
the
it?
other thing?
I tell you what, how's Soup's not been all over that?
Hey, Soups, what's going on? No Maths update from you tonight?
Well, she's not here. Who are you talking to?
Oh, she's done a runner on us. Crikey, she's off
No
again.
love anymore, mate.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you get that.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, so Maths is back, and all the drama of all that's back. I love it. It's my one guilty pleasure. Well,
I don't know how you watch it, mate.
maybe it's not
I
my
don't know how
only
you
guilty
watch it.
pleasure, but it's one of my guilty pleasures. So let's not push the envelope on that
Yeah,
one.
you got a few there, mate.
So, what are we doing? What's going
tonight?
on? What are we doing
tonight?
tonight?
We promised everyone the cook-off, didn't we? What are we doing? The Oak Joe's Bronco with a bit of a
You can see behind us.
charcoal King's Lump charcoal in there. We've got the Traeger full of a blend of pellets in there. And we've got the old school Weber. I've had that for about 15 years, that thing. And it looks brand new.
So, what's a personal fave for you, mate, in terms of the three cookers? So, we've got the Bronco drum,
Yeah.
we've got the Traeger pellet, and we've got the Weber grill. out of the three, what's your go-to, your most versatile?
I mean, the one I use the most is the Traeger probably, but it's because I'm doing a lot of bigger stuff. I
Yeah.
love the Bronco,
Yep.
like for shorter cooks, for doing like you know your chicken wings and ribs.
Yep.
Bit of pulled pork maybe. I might try that on the weekend.
Hang on, you're blowing out.
But the Weber.
We talk about what you're cooking next week later. Fair dinkum.
why not?
Can you read a run sheet?
I can't, mate. I can't.
Mate, dead set.
It's not big
You're
enough
killing
writing.
it. Oh, it's good to see the vacuum of the cleaners are here doing
coming
the
outside,
vacuuming
mate, yeah.
while we're going.
But yeah, I mean the Weber. You got to love a Weber. Everyone loves the Weber.
Mate, everyone loves a Weber.
Don't
Yep.
they?
Yep,
You
they
just
talk
can't beat
Weber.
it. Yeah.
And in fact, when I'm out around, I'm always watching Hard Rubbish for a good Weber.
There's always so many out there
Don't
as
you
well.
worry about me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll tell you the other thing that's really exciting tonight
Yeah,
is very, very soon. We've got a special guest coming up.
we do. Yeah.
We're going to get our cook going first. We're going to get our cook
There's
on.
someone been looking forward to getting on for
Yeah,
a while as well.
we've
You've been
talked him
talking
up.
about him
I'll tell you what, he better bloody deliver this
I
bloke.
know, yeah.
He's come with bigger expectations. But anyway, we'll get him on shortly. What we're going to do in the meantime, because it's going to take a little bit,
Yeah.
we're going to get up, we're going to prep this meat, and we're going to put what rubber we putting on, Al?
We're going to put the sauce low and slow gentleman's blend on
The one
coffee,
we love,
the
coffee
one
rub.
I'm a big fan.
So we're going to give that a crack. We've got a nice bit of eye fillet. We've locked up, mate. We've got a nice
Still
bit of
going.
eye fillet from our mates at the Australian Wholesale Butchers over at Baronia.
Yep.
Good guys over there. They hooked me up with a great gyros last week. They
Yeah,
loaded
they
the
did. Yeah, it looked
skewer
good,
up.
didn't it? Yeah.
Well, it was to die for. It was sensational stuff. So I nicked over there this afternoon and said to the boys, right, we're doing this cook. We need to get a great cut of meat that we
Yep.
can cut up equally so that we can pick the differences. So we're doing 3 different cookers, 3 different fuels,
Yep.
right? So let's head over to the kitchen and the
Why
bench.
not? And
let's
guys,
get it
as
going.
this is new software, if there is any mistakes today,
Hey,
it's Pete's fault.
no, but watch this. How cool's this?
Hang on, is it?
Come on, Al. We're up and going.
Let's just hope it works.
Hey, so you should be seeing us up here now, guys.
Guys, how are we?
Hey, welcome
Let's
to the
give it a
kitchen,
thing.
and you should see what we're doing tonight. Lump
should.
charcoal
What are we doing, Pete?
versus lump
Lump.
charcoal
Yeah.
versus briquettes versus
the
pellets.
pellets.
And we're going to show you the difference while we're going as well. So what I'm going to do is
gonna
I'm going to
chuck
get
them on, mate.
Al to hey, have a look at this. I was trying to put
We didn't talk about this. What are you going to get me to do?
no. I'm going to actually get you to cut that open with the
I'll
scissors
tell you what.
and get the meat ready.
This is all because you were worried before about if you were going to cut it right.
Exactly,
weren't it?
exactly.
Yeah,
So
now
the-
you've- now
so the
you-
surprise
You've
is-
saved this till now.
Surprise is you're cutting it.
He's good in the...
Hey, I want to show you the difference, right? So lump charcoal. When we talk about lump charcoal, you get a nice big fat bag like this from our mates at Charcoal Kings.
Oh, Silvio.
G'day, Sylv. Hope you're watching, mate, and tuning in. But when we talk about natural lump charcoal, that's the kind of thing that we talk about. So it's carbonised wood that's been fired at really high temperatures.
Yep.
So it's really dense and takes in a lot of heat and heats up for a really, really long time. So that's lump charcoal, hardwood lump charcoal. Right, so that's what we're doing in the Bronco drum from OKJ, the one that we love, and you'll see that little baby over here, drum smoker. Then we've got Al's Traeger, what is it, Al, a 760,
780.
780 Traeger pellet. So pellets are these little babies, they're compressed,
Jump out of
mainly
the shop for
sawdust
30
and
seconds,
hardwood.
sorry.
This is a little trial bag that we got from our mate Silvio over at Charcoal Kings that we're about to try out. But what we've got in the Traeger tonight is just a blend that Al uses a fair bit,
Yep.
and
That's a bit of maple, cherry and oak in that one.
that's the pellets. While you show everyone that, I'll do the honours and I'll cut that meat, Al.
And what we've got in the Weber, trusty BB oak competition charcoal briquettes. And they're
Right, so I'm going to just quickly shove a glove on.
And they are running at a fair bit of bloody heat as well, these things.
Yeah, try and keep...
They do say that they're the hottest and longest burning briquettes on the market.
Really?
And I agree with the hottest part at the moment.
Yeah, the one challenge that we've got here today is trying to keep temps on these, on the cookers similar. Because what we want to try and do is give you a really even comparison of the three,
Yeah.
and the result and the taste profiles and that sort of thing that you're going to get from each different cooker and each different fuel type.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about today. So what we want to do, we're going to do, because we've got a special guest, rather than just cutting this in half like we'd normally do, Al, for
That's
you
right,
and I,
yeah.
what do you reckon about there?
Go on, why not?
Yeah, look at that. So we're going to take one. Oh, look at that. I know that Freddie's excited.
You're pretty keen,
And I'll tell you what I'm actually going to measure them so that we get about the same. Because we want to try and keep this a fair fight, right?
Yeah.
So that's number 2. Oh, that one looks nice. That'll be mine later, mate. Don't worry about that one.
I feel it's falling apart.
So I got my name all over that one.
Tell you what, we're actually going to chuck on the meter probes as well, guys, just to keep.
So
an
tell
eye
everyone
on
about your meter probes, Al. What's the go?
Chip keeps an eye on the internal temp, mate.
I'll tell you what.
What do probes do?
Tell you what, we could do with a sharp knife. I know a bloke. But anyway,
yeah.
We'll see how we go.
Daniel, he was actually in the office today.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
G'day, honey.
Say g'day.
Righto, so you can see there, and I'll tell you, hey, here's a little baby at the end, just for good measure. Let's make sure we get a little bit of that on there. So we're going to take the 3 of them, right? We've got the meter probes in them ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to, oh no, I won't take my glove off just yet because we're going to have to turn them, right?
Yeah.
So here we are, the Gentleman's Blend, which is the coffee spice rub.
Yep.
And that's the one that we're going to use today. So I'm going to whip him open. These are just the little pouches.
A little bit of oil on them.
You pop the oil on. Look at that. You do that. I'll do this.
Oh shit, that's probably a little bit too much. That'll probably do
2 of them.
the rest of it.
Righto,
it did
so
too.
That middle one's mine, by the way, just in case you
Of
wonder.
course it is.
We tried to keep these even, but sorry.
It's not quite work for you.
I'll tell you what, I've just done the cardinal sin. You know that?
What's that?
You know, I've just made the mistake that bloody Sam, I should have learnt. We had Sam on last week. What did he say to me?
Don't go nuts.
No, he said, don't push the rub in. What do I do?
Yeah.
Hang on, go the other side. Right, so we'll turn these over. We'll give him a bit of a go on that side as well, so we get a bit of fairness going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to not... excuse me. Alright. So we've got the coffee rub. We've put it in.
Yep.
Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat.
That's
All of a
good,
sudden.
mate.
Righto. So let's go, big
Throw 'em
boy.
on.
You're going to take...
Right, that one's the easiest
That
one.
one's
so let's
easy.
just go
Chuck
bang.
him in. This one I'm going to throw into the old Oak Joe's drum.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and keep that off to one side. So just so you know, we're actually reverse searing these steaks. So the whole idea is to put them on indirect heat. So we're going to run them at about 225, 250 Fahrenheit at the moment.
Yep.
And the reason that we're doing that is because we want to finish it here during the show. Normally we'd run them a bit lower, Al, so we'd be running about 150, 175,
Yeah, about that, yeah.
and we'd let them go. We really don't want to do that tonight because we haven't got the time. So we're going to run them at a bit hotter.
Yep.
They're going to be ready to roll.
I'll keep an eye on the phone on the meter.
So Al's got
I'll
that.
have to set them up quickly, but
We're going to run them up to about an internal temp of about 60 C.
jump in.
Yep. So we're going to sit back
Jump
down, bear
down.
with us a sec.
Yep.
We're going to run them to an internal temp of about 60 C, which is just shy of medium.
Yep.
Right, so what we've got, and just so everyone knows, tonight's the night to launch it. We've actually got the 2SG Steak Doneness Guide
Yep.
that you're going to see flash up on the screen very soon. And if you haven't already,
Yep.
it has?
No.
It didn't. Okay.
I'll chuck
Okay.
it
Yeah,
up
we
now.
don't want to go to that yet.
Here we go.
because we're
No,
gonna,
we'll go now.
there you go. Right,
Here
so
you are,
you'll
so
see
it's
the,
up now.
you'll see the Steak Doneness Guide. If you go onto the 2SG website, so www.2smokingguns, just like you see on the bottom of the screen there, and go into the grilling section on our website, the 2SG Grilling Guide is in there for steak doneness. So
Yep.
that'll tell you, and we've given them some pretty cool names. So
Yeah, we
we're
have.
talking about Still Moon,
Yep.
which is blue. and in light of myself, we've got the Ranger, which is rare, because Rangers are pretty rare, right?
Oh, they are, mate. Yeah.
And then
a
we've
pain in the arse.
we've
as well,
kicked
but
on from
anyway,
there.
yep.
Oh, yeah. So we tell you the temps to cook to from an internal perspective. When we talk about reverse searing, though, only cook to about 3 or 4 degrees below the temperature target you would
Yeah,
get
because
to.
you are going to sear those steaks and you're going to add those few
Yeah.
degrees in.
Yeah,
and
so
you're
you-
going to drop a little bit of temp as well while you're resting and waiting for
You
all
are.
your smoker to get up to temp.
Hey, so we're gonna leave them in there for a bit. They're gonna take a little while.
Yep.
Might even take the whole hour. Who knows?
Who knows?
In the
Could
meantime,
be.
I'll tell you what,
We've
mate.
got someone that's going to have a good chat
What
with us. and
goes
is
better
your
with
lot.
what goes with red meat better than
I know some good crispy chips.
really?
No, some chips.
No,
a few
I'll tell you
veggies,
what.
A bit of salad. No?
I know a bloke who can tell us. And
Yeah.
finally, we get to meet our mate, Mr. Bear. Here he is. Come on, Andy. Get
G'day,
in.
mate. Jump in.
You jump in the middle.
Jump
of the
in, mate.
I'll even pinch your seat.
Yeah, why
Have a
not?
look
Why
at
wouldn't
that.
you?
So,
Bring a bottle of wine over for
you
life.
finally all get to meet the elusive Mr. Bear who
Welcome,
we've
mate.
spoken
Thanks for
about.
joining us.
Thank you, Al. Thanks,
thank
Peter.
Welcome to 2SG, mate, and the world that we live in. I think we're all pretty well centred and
Yeah, we
fitting.
are.
Three, Jesus,
Three small blokes, haven't
We
we?
got the wide angle lens today. Jeez.
But
Tell you what, we
at
going
least I'm
alright.
lifting the class up
I
a
was
little
gonna
bit
say.
here, I tell you.
Yeah.
Mate, pick the
Should've
wine
warned me.
expert. Look at this bloke, mate. So Bear is our resident wine expert. Andrew is a wine man through and through. Has been pretty much all his bloody life. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about yourself, Bear. What's the go?
Well,
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Well, I grew up with up near Peter, up near Shepparton.
Sorry,
We're sorry about that.
Little place called Kyabram, and then
A couple of good footballers come from Kyabram.
yeah, a couple, and
A couple
then
of dirty ones too. We won't mention that.
and then moved to Melbourne, and so I've been in Melbourne since I was 20, so a long time, and I went to college, went to hospitality college. I was going to train to be a chef. I thought, no, that's too much like hard work. So that idea
I
went
like
pretty
drinking
quick.
booze.
Yeah, exactly. and discovered, hey, there's this wine stuff that's pretty good. I like that. So I came out of college and went straight into wine. Went into wine retail.
Yeah.
And worked there in different places. Started off at Crittenden's, which is a name of long gone, which not many people would remember anymore.
Yep.
And then
What Crittens are a wine.
Mate,
Well, I suppose-
I'm not being rude. I've just got to set these. I've just remembered I haven't set the
No,
meter.
go for it.
You guys chat and I'll just.
We'll
I'll
chat
sit in the
amongst
background.
ourselves. You do, and while we're
I've just realised I haven't even set the probes up.
while we've had that interruption, if you've got any questions for Mr. Bear about wine and food pairings, throw them up and we'll try and get to them as we go along. So Crittenden's, what do they do?
So
They're a wine
they were
merchant.
originally I suppose an old-fashioned wine merchant and supermarket back when it meant something. There's very few of those. I suppose the guys at Boccaccio's are probably the closest thing to it that are doing that sort of quality anymore.
Yep.
Started there and basically fell in love with the industry and worked for 35 years in booze.
So what's he
originally
not to fall in love with, really?
Yeah, exactly. I figured might as well start enjoying it. Started wholesaling with a company called Rosemount, which then got bought
Just
out.
a little
Yeah,
known.
small company.
Well,
you know,
it
couple
was
of backyarders.
yeah, it was a small family-owned company when I started, and Bob Oatley sort of left with 1.4 billion later, and
Wow.
bought an island and
As you do.
a yacht
Well,
and
wouldn't
everything
you?
else.
Yeah.
So the guy got to drink a lot of booze,
Yep.
lived a great life, ran a good
That's it.
company, made a mint,
Yep.
retired and took off and bought a bloody island.
That's it.
And the yacht.
And he loved his yacht and everything else. Had
There's a bloke who-
had a private plane.
He
and
must
the
be
whole bit.
related to you. He's the kind of
Oh,
bloke
come
that would
on,
fall
mate.
into a bucket of thumbs
How many
and come up
islands
sucking
and
a
yachts do
nipple.
I own?
Yeah.
Fell into a bucket of thumbs, come up sucking a nipple every time.
Yeah, he started off in coffee in New Guinea before they seceded, and came back a millionaire and ended up a billionaire at the other end.
Wow.
So, and the family's still involved in the wine business with the Robert Oatley business. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, good wine
You
makers.
gonna do those meters or you?
So, mate.
Oh, you've done it. Jeez,
Come
that was
on,
quick.
mate.
like that.
The meters are
I
in
know.
there.
I'm sorry,
Just
mate.
Didn't have them.
So worked with that company, which ended up being Treasury Wines for 22 years, and been mooching ever since then. And they gave me a lot of money and said, "Would I like to leave and do something else?" So I went, "Yeah, thank you very much. I'm out there."
Beautiful.
Just enjoying life at the minute, which is
So
good.
you've
Good
gone
on you,
from
mate.
strength to strength, and you've ended up at the table at 2
That's it.
on a Thursday
That's it.
night.
Can't get much
Huh?
better.
Talk about blokes who have fallen out of a bucket of thumbs.
That's it.
How's that?
So a friend and I recently, really probably just before Christmas, decided we were going to, start our own little business, and we've just started Vinoclock, which is an
I think-
online wine business.
And you'll see at the bottom of the screen, we've got...
Thanks, boys. Appreciate that.
We've got Bear's Vinoclock website up there, so vinoclock.com.au. I think we're missing the
We did
logo.
have the
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Saying it
Logo,
should be
but-
there, but
Small technical difficulty.
That's all right.
New
If
software.
that's the worst that happens, we're doing well.
exactly.
So he and I started that, and it's more about a site which is encouraging people to try something different.
Yeah, nice.
Not just the standard stuff that they're going to go and buy a Sauv Blanc from the supermarket.
Yeah.
They want to perhaps try something a bit different.
Yeah, nice.
So for any of your viewers, I presume there's listeners too.
No, we just sit here on our own most nights. We kind of
That's,
like doing this just for giggles. It's
You know, there will be if you sign on to the newsletter
Yep.
to our mailing
well,
list.
have you got a 2SG family
Yep.
special?
So they can get an extra 5% off their already discounted prices.
Beautiful.
So so it's a little bit of a help there for the guys on their first
Why
order.
not?
So the cool thing though, Andrew, is that unlike some of the other online wine sites that are out there,
Yep.
where it's press a button and
Yeah.
give us your preferences, you guys are accessible and you actually communicate and
Yeah,
feedback.
very much so. We try and keep in touch with everybody, and it's just either leaving a message or when we're about. We certainly answer people straight back. So we're enjoying that, and that's just starting out. We've redesigned the website about 3 times so far, as you guys would know.
I was
In
going
what,
to say
3
probably
months?
Tweaks
probably
here,
a lot
tweaks there.
A lot like ourselves, really.
Yeah.
Ours took about 20 goes before we were happy with it, unfortunately. But
That's it. So
pretty happy with it,
and we're sort of living the dream at the minute, and
Yeah.
just waiting for it to sort of start.
So we're
start
just
really
getting
moving on.
asked again, Andrew, what's the code? Like, is there a
So when
specific-
you sign into, there'll be a pop up.
Yep.
Put your email address in to sign into
Yep.
the mailing list, and then you'll get a code sent out to you.
So you guys put that up specially tonight for
Yep,
our friends
yep.
at 2SG. So get
Yep.
on there, get on to www. Not now. Wait until we're finished. But get on there, write it down.
oh, they can do it if they've got a laptop and they're watching
Yeah,
on the phone, or
that's
you
it.
know.
No,
You
we
can
do
don't
two
want
things
to,
at once.
no distractions.
distractions.
Yeah, wait until we're
Stick-
finished and then
Stick
hop
to the
on.
gear. Stick to the gear.
But yeah, more than happy to help out. And if you're not sure or you want to try something different, just leave a comment for us,
Yeah.
and we'll get back and like you guys do,
nice.
is very much want to try
Yeah.
and talk to
No,
people.
beautiful. Yeah.
It's all about that personal touch and the independent sort of side of business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
and again, like your business, it's you're selecting quality, and something different, and something that we think people should try and are going to like.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Where are you sourcing from now, Andrew? Like in terms
All
of,
over the place.
Like country-wise,
Elton,
like,
come on.
get down, mate. Come on. Get
We've
down,
got a
mate.
visitor down here.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah,
One
so
of the
I
mascots.
suppose a big part of what I do is I also love international wines, not just Australian. So we've got wines from Victoria. This is one from WA, which we're going to try tonight. We've got wines from Italy, wines from Spain, Argentina, Chile, New Zealand, France, all over the place.
What's
So
your favourite? Like, if you're talking to you, and I mean, it's the old story. It's like
Yeah,
never
what's
trust,
your favourite? Exactly. Yeah.
never
Yeah.
trust a skinny
Yeah,
chef.
that's it.
Never trust a bloody skinny wine connoisseur either.
yeah, exactly.
What's your favourite, mate? Like if you were talking countries that wine comes from.
I have a real passion for Italy. They're doing a lot of different things. I think the guidebook in Italy is about that thick on the different grape varieties. So things you've never heard of, things like Verdicchio, Pecorino, a whole raft of different grape varieties that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And they're a lot more savoury in tones than a lot of the Australian stuff. So that's me personally, but I also have a real passion for Pinot Noir. I love
Yeah,
Pinot Noir.
yeah, I'm a big Pinot fan. I'm also a Spanish Tempranillo fan.
Yeah,
I'm a
Temp's
big
good.
fan. Yeah,
It has a structure to it.
yeah.
It's like meat. It has a great structure.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do there. So I thought tonight, you did give me a heads up saying what we're going to eat, and you
Yeah.
said I feel it. Nothing about coffee rub, mind you. Thanks for that. Just make it really easy.
Mate, you were supposed to have been
I've got a
watching
good
us.
bottle of scotch
You
in there.
would
We'll
know.
bring that out.
Exactly.
If the wine's not
Mate,
going
it's
to
a
work,
whiskey,
then
yeah.
so, yeah.
But it so happens that the wine I grabbed for tonight is probably going to suit that better than what I would have grabbed otherwise.
Beautiful.
So for me, for steak,
Meant to be.
Cabernet Sauvignon's a great matchup with steak.
Beautiful.
It has a length of palate, so
I'm
it
a
lingers in
I'm,
your...
I'm a Cab Sav fan.
Yeah.
I actually like that and a followed by a nice meaty Shiraz afterwards is normally quite good as well. But I am a bit of a fan of a Cab Sav.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Cabernet's got length of palate. It lingers in your mouth for a long time. It's a little bit drier.
Yeah.
Shiraz is round in your mouth. So think in terms of meat. So beef has that length of palate.
Yeah.
It's sort of a long, thinner flavour palate. You get to lamb and it's a rich round flavours, and
Yeah.
pork a rich round fills your mouth out with flavour. Wine does the same thing. And that's what you try and do. You try and match the weight of the food with the weight of the wine with the flavours. So you can have Sauvignon Blanc with steak, but it's not going to be the ideal thing. If you talk ideals, red meat, because it has that
And is
makes
it
your
the
mouth
whole...
water.
It's like the flavour profiles complement each other and bring the flavours right out, or is it just that it works well with it? Let's, you know, none of us are connoisseurs
so
here.
in wine you
Well,
get
I don't think so. Any
the sorts of flavours. Your system might pipe up there. The sorts of flavours you get. If you talk about white wine, you get fruit flavour, and you get acid, and sometimes you get oak. But really, it's fruit and acid. So you want that balance in your wine. Red wine, fruit, acid, tannin. So tannin's the other thing. So tannin's what sucks your cheeks in. And gives you that chalkiness across your teeth. Like you sort of go, okay.
That red stain when you wake up the next
That's
morning.
it, and your tongue is hanging out.
For you girls, here's a tip. If you're going out and you want to look a bit thinner, have a mouthful of tannins. It'll pull your cheeks in.
It's like you've soaked your tea bag for too long.
Right.
It's that bitterness to it. But you need that when you're having food. Because what that does is that cleans your mouth out. So you have these fatty foods and these flavours, then you have the wine, cleans your mouth out, so you're ready for the next mouthful of food. That's what it's all about. Europe, very much about food and wine. You don't drink wine on its own. Here we do. Europe, you have food, you have wine. You have wine, you have food. Goes together.
Perfect.
Can be Italy, can be cheese and some olives, a bit of bread. That might be it.
Really, man. Let's be honest, wine goes with everything.
Hey,
doesn't it?
Bear, we've had a question. Can
From
you ask
Sean.
about storage and wine fridge temps?
I knew he was here. What I was going to ask that
So
before he even put that on. I made a note here. Look.
Look at that. Look at that. Hey,
So,
wine fridge temps. Good work.
Ideally, you want your temperature to be around about 15, 16 degrees.
For reds, you're talking
Anything.
about? Whites as well.
Yep. That's storage.
Yep.
Storage. Cellar temperature in Europe is what you're talking about here.
Yeah, right.
So, but the key to it is you want constant temperature.
Yeah.
You don't want
Fluctuation.
12 degrees, 25 degrees.
So like I've got my wine fridge in there at the moment. It's on 14 degrees.
Yeah, fine.
Has been on 14
Perfect.
degrees for the last 5 years.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And it's never been opened.
No.
He's a bit of a...
Come on, mate.
I'm joking.
yeah, but yeah.
I'm joking.
I was going to say,
We did
I'm pretty
massacre
sure.
a few.
Hey, but while we're thinking, let's open this. We'll have a look at it.
So, talking about opening, and you did make some
Yes.
comments earlier about opening. Tell us about the opening process.
Particularly for ladies, Australia's about 95% screw cap now. We're just checking the temps
I'm
here.
checking the temps, mate. So yeah, I'm not being rude.
So
I promise. I'm not
they're
texting.
about 95% sold in Australia in screw caps. I've even spoken to people from Italy, winemakers, that sort of thing. Oh, we used to sell to Australia, we don't anymore because they all want the screw caps.
Yeah.
We're only small places, we can't do that. So Australia's adopted the screw cap. The reason for screw caps is because it's cork taint. It was the real reason for it. A natural cork, around about 15% of all wine was corked.
Yeah.
In the bad old days. They're getting a lot better at it now. The Portuguese have finally woken up, and they wouldn't listen to this little country down there, God's end of the earth. That it's a chemical, and they used to wash all their corks in chlorine.
Yeah.
So the chlorine would impregnate the cork and give it a cork taint. Now,
So that's the main reason for the
Yep.
change?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
crazy.
know that.
because
See, I always thought you saw a bottle of wine, you saw the cork in it. Oh, it's got to be a better bottle.
That's what I thought.
yeah,
There you go.
fallacy.
Learn
But
something new.
you look at Penfolds, the only wine they don't do in a screw cap is Grange, and that's because of history.
It's Grange.
Because no one drinks it anyway. It's always on the shelf with a cork.
no
in
one-
it.
Well, yeah.
$2.5 grand on a
or
bottle
it
of red.
sits in somebody's cellar somewhere.
It's
You
like that.
never gets drunk.
I've got about 12 bottles in there that I won't let anyone touch, and I've had them for 10, 15
cool.
years. And I'm like,
Mate,
Yeah.
they're going to taste like chlorine.
probably.
Yeah. No, but cork taint, what you'll taste in it, it can taste anything from the wine being a bit dull and a bit
Yeah.
flat and not a lot of flavour. And only if you drink that wine regularly will you pick that up,
Yeah.
to being smells like wet Hessian bags
Yeah.
and really wet, dank cardboard.
So a bit like a
And
cast
it's
wine,
obviously
not a,
off.
bit
Yeah.
like a goon
Yell
bag.
Chateau, yell Chuck, yell Chunder.
So no, even worse than that. But it's some people will pick it up, other people won't. But
Yeah.
the problem is somebody will buy that bottle of wine and go, "This is crap. I'm not going to drink that."
Yeah.
because it doesn't taste any good. I won't buy that again.
Yeah.
And it's actually something wrong with the wine. So Australia adopted the screw cap. The Clare Valley boys decided one year everything's going into screw cap for that whole region.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone went, oh, great, we love this. They adopted it in Australia, and it went from there. But trials have been going on with screw cap
I assume
since
it'd
the mid-60s.
actually be less expensive than a cork as well, wouldn't it?
Slightly less expensive, yeah, because you don't have a capsule and a cork. You've only got the one unit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so opening it is a difficult thing for some women because I've got blessed with big hands. Pretty strong hands. Yeah. Big hands, big feet. Nothing else.
Expensive shoes.
They need big cups.
So the easy way for a lady to open it is you actually hold the top, and you twist the bottom because it's easier to twist that bigger, thicker bottle, and then it just opens up and it's done.
Beautiful.
Yeah, right.
And the beauty of it is you can put the top back on. A bottle of wine, once you open it, will last for 2-3 days.
Okay.
In really good nick. So if you're worried about it, you can have a couple of glasses a night.
Yeah.
That's good
So
for the doctor who likes that.
You would say that after 2 or 3 days max sitting on the shelf,
You're
pushing your luck.
Yeah.
Right.
It becomes
It's a bit
quite
vinegary.
acidic, and the flavour drops down. You can keep your reds in the
Should be
fridge.
fine.
So
what about decanting, Andrew?
So decanting is good.
Yeah.
So you do decanting for 2 reasons. So if it's an old wine, you'll decant it to get the sediment out of it, which sediment is the tannins and the colour in the grapes, because all wine, I'm being watched down here, all wine is clear.
Yeah.
Effectively, you peel a grape, all wine grapes, bar a couple, which no one would have ever heard of, the juice is clear.
Yeah.
So it gets its colour from the skins. So they crush the grapes, leave it on with red wine, leave it on the skins, goes into the fermenter, and it sits there for a time and ferments, and it sucks the colour out of the grape skins.
Yeah, right.
So what happens is chemically within the bottle is the tannins and the colour, they attract to each other. Positives and negatives attract to each other. Come in out of a liquid.
That's what I told my wife.
Out of a liquid solution into a solid and fall out.
Yeah.
So that is quite bitter.
Yeah, right.
I know. I had a mouthful the other night after your wife's
my
Zoom.
wife?
after your wife's Zoom party. I had the last mouthful of a glass of wine, and it was literally just full of
And it's quite bitter and not nice.
No, it
so
wasn't.
you want to separate that out from the solids. So you leave your bottle standing up, you gently pour it, you try and do it over or under a light so you can see the colour. When you start to see a lot of that sediment coming through, you stop. You might lose a centimetre, if that.
Yeah.
So just on that, Bear, when you talk about storage, are you talking about storing your bottles upright, or should you store them laying down?
Cork, lay down. Screw cap, doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want
Why
to
is
keep
that, just to keep the cork
moist.
moist, yeah.
So if the cork is not moist, it shrinks. It's like wood.
Yeah.
If wood dries out, it shrinks.
Yep.
And what happens, you go to put your corkscrew in and it goes straight down. But it lets air in at the same time.
That's
as it
the
shrinks.
official terminology, by the way.
And what about airing the bottle when you open it?
So, with a screw cap, it's not going to have that effect. But what you want to do is, if it's a young wine and you decant it, what it does, it's like if you've been on a plane. Now you've been on a plane. Al, I presume you've been on a plane. What's the first thing? And I'm a big bloke. Neither of us are small. Yeah. What's the first thing you want to do when you get off a plane?
I like hanging around with you blokes. I look short and thin.
you want to stretch out. You want to. Oh, thank God, because you've been like this for bloody 8 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
Same thing with a bottle of wine. It's stuck in there. What you want to do is open out the wine.
Yeah.
So if you decant it, it allows the aromas to escape and the wine to fill out.
Yep.
So you get halfway through a bottle of wine, quite often you think, oh, this is drinking really nice.
Yep.
It's not that the wine, you're getting half plastered and this is tasting really good.
This is all the positives and negatives are stretched.
You glug, and it is opening the wine
You've done
out.
a bit of yoga after you've opened the bottle up.
So try it at home, see what you think. It will benefit from it.
Beautiful.
So tell us a little bit about this Malbec.
We've got a sign up there saying, let's just drink it.
Someone.
And who's
I think
I
that's
was going to say. It'd be Al's brother or sister without a doubt.
No. It's,
So this is
one of our good mates, Peter.
Oh, PB.
Yeah.
this is a wine from Risky Business,
Right.
which is a company, which is a good name for a wine company, I reckon.
Yeah. Sensational.
From Franklin River and Margaret River blend. So it's a blend from 2 regions.
Yep.
Like anything, your first named thing on a label will be the predominant part of the blend. So if it says Shiraz Cabernet, it's got more Shiraz in the blend than Cabernet. If it's Franklin River, Margaret River, there's more Franklin River wine in it.
So even
than
with
Margaret River.
the areas, it'll
Yep,
be the same.
yep.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there's a tip.
So,
for young players.
So look at that.
Normally at this point, Al and I would have probably had a mouthful of that, but we're not bloody going tonight because it's like, well, are
waiting
we
to be
doing this
we're waiting
right,
to be
or
told.
should we be sticking our nose in and swirling
Yep.
it around? Like
So a little bit about the grape variety. So Malbec comes from Bordeaux originally in France. It's used as a blending component with Bordeaux. So Bordeaux's are blended because it's cooler over there than we get here. So a lot of the times their grape varieties don't get quite ripe.
Yeah.
And Cabernet Sauvignon particularly, when it's in a cooler climate, it's what they call a donut wine. It's got a great start and a great finish and a big hole in the middle. So it hasn't got any flavour. So what they do is they add these other grape varieties to fill out the middle palate of the wine. So it's like cooking. Bit of this, bit of that, fleshes out, gives you the complete flavour. So they use things like Malbec, Merlot, Petit Verdot, those sorts of things in the blend to flesh it out.
Yeah, well.
But what they found was a lot of companies at the end of the war and different times, a lot of people went from Europe over to Argentina and Chile. So you had wines like Malbec, which found a home in Argentina.
Yep.
And it's now their Shiraz, for want of a better word. It's their number one sort of wine, that and Cabernet over there.
Yeah, wow.
Chile has Cabernet and Carmenere, a different grape variety. So Malbec over there is their Shiraz style. It's that rich, really big mouthful. So
I'm a
try
big
it.
fan. Yeah.
So
But it will.
Go on then, why
We've got
not?
one of our,
Hopefully,
we've
if
got
we
one
have
of our
to.
regulars out there. He's kind of learned 2 things from 2SG: drink beer from a glass and decant your wine. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're all about making
We're
you
just
people
trying to
better.
make it 100%.
And
Oh,
ideally,
cheers. Thanks.
cheers.
Yeah,
And
so
ideally,
thanks
we
for
don't
welcome.
want to fill the glass up too much. Not up here. That's good if you're buying it from a pub so you can get more out of it. Ideally, you want it about the widest part of the glass.
Jeez, I'm not
Because
letting
so what
call
you
me
want to
Meatin,
do
mate.
is you can see and swirl it.
Right. So the swirling is just an aerating process, or what do you?
Yeah,
and
but
so you can see
you-
the what's it called, the Belgian lacing.
The legs, no. It's got nothing to do with it.
But
But
keep swirling, or am I allowed to drink it?
you're allowed to drink it. Smell it, though. Smell it
Yeah.
first. Because I'm smelling that meat from here, and it smells
Smells
pretty
like
good.
wine.
It smells
So it
very
makes
nice.
your mouth go.
It actually does.
Yeah.
I'm smelling that in my
Hey.
mouth. It literally just filled
You know,
with
you
saliva.
know how if we can smell meat and we get really excited and our mouths are
Yep,
salivating.
and
Do you reckon on the weekend when I mow my lawn, my vegan neighbours doing the same thing? When they smell my grass cut lawn, the fresh
no,
cut
I
lawn?
don't think so.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No,
That's my guess.
it's one of my dad jokes. But anyway, I've gone early with that one.
That is.
I'm out of the blast.
So what you're trying to do, if you actually
me
fill
for 1
fill,
second.
fill a glass up as full as you can possibly get it, it'll actually have a bit of a dome on it, which is the surface temperature of the surface tension of the liquid. So what you want to do is break that surface tension.
Nice, that, isn't it?
All the flavours that you smell come from the alcohol. So when you swirl it, you break the surface tension, more alcohol evaporates.
Yeah.
What you're actually smelling is the alcohol.
Yeah, wow.
So, and that's got the flavour components with it. Same as if you drink whiskey or you drink bourbon, you add a couple of drops of water into it.
Yeah.
If you drink it straight, great, but still 2 or 3 drops, and you'll go, wow, it smells different.
Really?
You get more out of it.
Yeah, wow.
So try that at home too.
There you go.
A couple of drops.
Yeah, for you young players, put a
I
bit
know,
of
yeah.
water your booze down. What's wrong with you
I
people?
reckon everyone's
So
probably
you
put
want
their-
to swirl it,
I reckon-
big sniff, stick your nose in there and have a big sniff. Don't worry too much about whether you get violets and chocolate, and you actually do get a little bit of coffee in this, which is quite nice.
It's actually really nice, that.
A nice big plumminess to it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I get that. I've been doing it for 35 years.
Any
and
bloke
you- and
who's
you
got
learn
a
that.
wine in China named after him,
Yeah.
Mr. Bear.
It's not
That's
bad,
it.
is it?
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, you reckon you've had a couple, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much about that. Is it rich? Is it fruity? Is it your style? Think about what it feels like in your mouth. Is it all feel right? It's like you're eating. you'll get something, you'll eat something, you think, oh God, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it's got the right amount of salt in it, it's got the right amount of this, it's got the right amount of heat in it, it's got everything in it. It feels right. Wine's the same. It's got to feel right in your
With your
mouth.
drinking temperature there, like,
Yep.
I mean, that to me at the moment tastes cool.
Yep, and that's
Like,
good.
So you recommend it being lower than room
Slightly
temperature?
chilled,
And
Yeah, well, you want it around red wine under 20 if you can. You know, the people talk about room temperature again. You know, in summertime, I'll put red wines in the fridge before you drink them. Nothing wrong with that at all. Put them in an ice bucket. Because 30 or 40 degrees is not a good temperature to drink it. All you taste is hot alcohol.
Yeah.
Because, again, that alcohol's evaporating. So that's all you're tasting.
Yeah.
And it tastes hot, jammy, and not very nice and not balanced. A wine that's a little bit cooler, you get that elegance, you get the balance, you get the structure to the wine. I know it's a lot of wine words, but
Well,
that's
brilliant.
that's
It's sensational.
It's the same as cooking. It's the same as anything. It's about that harmony and that balance. We sort of talked about your chili sauce before.
Yeah.
You know, when you taste that,
Don't
you-
get him started on the bloody chili sauce, for God's sake.
you want that balance, and you want the balance between the heat, the sweetness, the
Yeah.
acidity. Because if it hasn't got the acidity, it tastes like crap.
Yeah.
If it has got too much heat, it's not good. So it's that balance in
So
something.
our mate Sam, who does our rubs, so Sam Kimber from Queensland,
Sauce
from
Slow,
Sauce
yeah.
Slow Slow.
Hey,
G'day,
Sam.
Sam. He's gone, hey lads, we've gone all sophisticated tonight.
Yeah.
He loves it. So
No, it's all right,
no,
Sam.
mate,
We'll send some wine up to you up at Queensland if you like.
we
No worries.
we started turning the page last week when you came on, mate, and we're
Yeah.
lifting our game from here on in. So it's all good. So yeah, we do look a little
So
sophisticated.
Sean's
tonight.
asking, what about tequila at room temperature? Well,
Same.
That's got to do with red wine, but
Tequila's great.
Was it?
Good,
I
good
can't drink
tequila.
it. No, I'm not tequila man. It doesn't. I
was going to say,
the night doesn't end well when we have tequila.
El's last experience on tequila was what, New Year's?
Yeah, and I've still got 2 fractured ribs. No, it was 2 weeks.
Well, okay, yeah, a couple.
Yeah.
We were at some rooftop bar in the middle of Shanghai somewhere, drinking tequila at about 2 o'clock in the morning at one stage.
Yeah, I
Which
think-
was just a fun time. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
But-
been there.
but-
I've lived that life. Oh.
it's funny. Rum and tequila are probably
Yeah.
the 2 hottest spirits going around at the minute.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
And
whis-
we're
whiskey for
talking
me.
we're talking quality rum, quality
Yeah.
tequila.
So we're
You
not
know-
talking Bundy.
No, no. You know,
So you're a
Go-
bit of a whiskey connoisseur as well, there, right?
Yep.
So you like a good.
So,
like, what?
if you want try rum, try Diplomatico. Diplomatico's an awesome rum, about $100.
Yeah.
It's like drinking velvet. It's sensational.
Yeah, well.
we had a mate, Lockie Lawson. Lock drinks a bit of rum, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he loves
He's
it.
Yeah.
a Bundy
He's a
man.
massive
But
rum fan,
but
yeah.
try things like that. Try something different. Tequila. There's a guy called Fortesa, which make one. You can get it at Dan's. I think they're about $130. They're not cheap.
How are we going
But
for
you're
temperature,
sipping it.
Al?
Would you believe? I think it's run out of battery.
We might need to get the thermo.
No, that's all right.
Throw
I'm
it
just
out.
gonna. It's actually turning back on, so I just want to make sure.
Righto, even if we get a quick read, sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
Sorry,
We're
mate. I
good.
do apologise.
We're good.
But it's
Actually, looked
getting
over your shoulder
more
and saw the screen
into
there.
the less volume,
Yeah.
better quality.
Yeah.
And it's the same with
That,
you guys
that
with,
seems to be a
with,
trend
with
at
your
the moment,
meats.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy cheap barbecue bricks, and they're crap.
Yeah. Definitely.
You
Or
buy
can
better
cheap
ones.
meat and
You
it's
can buy
Well,
cheap
that's
meat.
it, exactly. And that's what we always say. The quality makes a massive difference
Yeah.
with the meat
So,
and stuff that you do buy.
Yeah, have a think about things like that. And it's not about, it is expensive, but hey, you treat yourself. A bottle a month,
So-
enjoy it.
So, Bear, if you were to, like, if it's steak night at your place Saturday night, you've got a few friends coming over,
Yep.
what's the go-to for you? If you were to say, if you're having steak on a Saturday night, you're having some friends over,
Yep.
this is the wine you should drink.
I would normally go towards Cabernet.
But
Yeah.
a specific one, like a brand and a...
No, not
No?
particularly. It's for me the people I get asked all the time, "What's your favourite wine?" And I go, "The next one," because
love
it
it.
is. It's
That's like my
it's
favourite beer.
That's
yeah. Well, it is.
Yeah.
It's you want to explore what's out there and find out different things. If you want a good budget one, try and source out your Lumber Cigar. Great little Cabernet, mid-20s, really good. This little fella, I think we've got on the website
That's great.
about
I'm a fan of
$22.
that. It's very drinkable.
$22
Yeah.
a bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And it's a little bit cheaper by the
So
case.
you're doing mixed cases, or you're doing
We're doing
taster packs?
six packs at the minute. So if you wanted that, and wanted that straight, you'd buy a 6-pack or a dozen of that. We're just starting to put together some tasting packs. We've got one in there, which is a bottle of 3 or 4 or 6 different wines.
Yep.
That's what we're going to be doing more of going forward. And that's going to be a lot of fun for people. So they can try some Italian wines. They can try some French wines.
Righto, so you're a bit of a cook. You love to cook at home, I know that, because you're good mates with my sister, and I know that you've travelled the world,
Yes.
and you've cooked and eaten together quite a bit and drunk a bit of booze, obviously.
I've eaten all sorts of weird and wonderfuls.
Yeah, welcome to my world. Go to China.
Yeah, been to China
So
and
talk
tried
to
everything.
us, mate. Like, what was the last thing you barbecued? What did you eat off the barbecue last?
Probably off the barbecue would have been chicken, marinated 5 fillets.
Marinated 5 fillets.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
So yeah,
And what you go
one
with?
of,
What
one
do
of
you
two
like
ways.
best off a barbecue?
I'll either do it with a dry rub, which is for me just a mixture of herbs, and depending on what the feel I want for that food is. Sometimes, and I'll steer a little bit towards Moroccan sort of style stuff at the minute, or Italian herbs, and so I'll go with a bit
Is
of
that
a theme.
because it goes well with the wine you're drinking?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
the opposite?
no.
He's
To
going the
put-
Italian herbs and the Spanish reds.
Most people
Yeah.
go, oh, what wine do you think will go well with this food? You
Yeah.
go, what food do you think will go well with this
wine.
wine?
That's it. But yeah, no, I like Spanish food. I like Italian food.
Yeah.
But I like that warmth.
So
That
what's
it
your
has.
favourite dish? What's the dish of the moment for you at the moment?
I've actually been doing like a Moroccan stew, which is beef, just chuck beef,
Yep.
diced.
Slow cooker?
No, on the stovetop.
Yep.
Chickpeas in it.
So you're a bit of an impatient sort of bloke by the sound of it.
No. It's yeah. Oh, it does take time, but yeah, just bring off the meat, garlic and onions in it. Generally some Moroccan spices or paprika and turmeric and.
So you tell me you got a Weber.
Yep.
When was the last time you cooked on the
Oh,
Weber?
jeez, a long time ago. I've got to get that out.
So it's a relic.
I'm a bit of a pleb with that. I've got to learn how to use it properly.
I'll tell you what, I know.
And a lot of people, I think, with Webers, they've got them. They like the idea, but they're just scared to use them.
Yeah.
I think once you get up and get it going. And the other thing on a barbecue, lamb skewers or China. You get lamb skewers with cumin on it.
I'm
and
just going to give me 2
I'll
seconds.
tell you-
There's
I'll
one
tell
of
you-
them that's
Great
just come up to heat. So
I'll tell
while
you-
you guys keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just
what was
wrap
the
it.
weirdest thing you ate in China?
Gee, I reckon the weirdest thing that I ever had, or that I was ever served, we went to a factory one day over there, and we were sitting in the dining room area, and the president's there, and all the people as you always
as
get
you do,
when you're in China. And so we're sitting around
Drinking Mao Tai.
drinking Mao Tai and a bit of Great Wall,
Yep.
as it was
Yes,
back then.
yes.
The old Great Wall Red, that was all the red you could
Well,
get.
that's a car brand, isn't it?
Right?
That's a car brand, isn't it?
And
Just
Tsingtao
about.
and whatever else they had.
Yeah.
Shivers Regal with half a bottle of water in it and that
Yep.
sort of. But anyway, this silver plate came out each, and it had 4 chopsticks propping up what I could only describe as a thigh bone from a rather medium to large animal. So I'd suggest a goat or a sheep
Something,
or something
yep.
about that
Depending
size.
which part of China you're in, yeah.
The top of the bone sawn off and a straw in it.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
So just a bit of the old raw bone marrow straight
Yes.
out of the bone. And you?
We always used to get worried because not last year, unfortunately, but the year before, I was over in China about 4 or 5 times. But we went with Chinese people, Chinese-speaking people, and it was great fun. But you'd always worry and I love to find out what I'm eating.
Yeah.
So you'd ask,
I
You never
stopped
ask them-
asking.
you've
I
never
stopped,
asked them till
trust
you've
me, I
actually
was-
eaten it.
what's this? And they'd go, regional specialty. Don't worry, it's good for you. And then you're just going,
Did you
okay.
ever get the underwater chicken? This is underwater chicken. It's fine.
We always, and again, you'd always get treated amazingly well, and you'd be having delicacies, and some of it was. I never warmed to sea cucumber.
Oh yeah.
It's like
The big prickly things with the green stuff
yeah,
inside.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
the
yeah,
ones.
yeah. It's
they
like
do.
it's like rubberized snot. Horrible. And this would be a delicacy. So you've
there.
got to eat it.
Yeah.
Welcome
And
to
it's like-
2SG
you can't
with
say
our
no, yeah.
resident wine connoisseur,
Yeah.
Mr. Andrew Beer. It's like
And his
green
sea
rubbery
cucumbers.
snot.
But the good one was we were up in Yinchuan, which is way up near in Mongolia, and we had scorpions, and they were deep fried,
Ooh.
and they were
Yeah, wow.
just tiny little fellas, and they
Yum.
were like crispy chicken skin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
But we've
wow.
had bullfrog and
yeah, I've had
about 3 or 4 different
frog
stomachs,
fried
and
Like
rice.
frog's legs in France.
esophagus, and all sorts of different.
Every
way we
organ
went.
you
yeah,
can think
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Nose-
pretty much.
True nose to tail eating in
Yeah.
China.
Yeah,
Hey,
we had
so
that
Sam's
Edison too.
put up there Clase Azul Reposado Tequila.
Awesome stuff.
Do you know,
Yep.
you've had it?
Casa Azul, yeah.
That's not the one with the worm in it, right?
No,
Oh,
Jesus. No. Casa Azul stands about yay tall in a white ceramic bottle.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing tequila. And it's sipping tequila.
Yeah.
And it's just about, 200 and something, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
It's got a little ding on the top, a bell on the top. But it is amazing tequila. We were talking about the top end of what you're getting. You buy a decent bottle of malt whiskey and it's 150, 200 bucks.
Yeah, well.
Hey, so everyone wants to have a quick update and look at what we're doing cook-wise, Al. So
Yeah.
let's
So I've just
let's have a quick
I was
look.
just checking the temps on the Weber. It's the Weber's running a bit hotter, so the steak had already hit 60. So what I've done is I've just whipped that off there. I've just wrapped it in a bit of foil. I've opened up all the vents on the Weber, so we're smashing that heat up, so then we can give
How
them a
we
bit of a
going on
sear.
this one?
I reckon the oak Joe will be ready as well,
Now,
so you can probably pull that off and wrap it.
righto, let me have a crack at that while
So,
you guys have,
if you
have a
want.
chat.
If you want, we'll.
So,
Yeah,
so
jump
decanting
over.
wines for you
Yep.
guys is like resting your meat.
Oh yeah, cool.
That's really what it is. You want everything
Just
to come
letting the
back
flavour
together.
and the
Yeah, they're all
everything
mellow
just
out.
sort of.
Think about the right temperature for your wines. It's like having your steak at room temperature before you stick it on.
Yeah.
If it's
definitely.
cold, you're going to ruin
Yeah,
a
you're
good piece
wasting
of
your
meat.
time. Definitely. That you're going to destroy it.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's pretty excited, isn't he, with
you
that?
pull
It is.
the
It's,
lever out or you leave
Oh,
it?
you
Smells
can.
pretty
It's
good.
up to you, either or. Yeah, no, it's smelling good, isn't it?
That
maybe
smells
not,
too
maybe
bloody
not with
good.
those gloves. I think I'll leave it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Go
got a
on,
bit
why
hot
not?
on the rubber glove.
I did do a
forgot
double.
wasn't-
I did do a double wrap because that Traeger's taking a little bit longer. Believe it or
Traeger?
not. Yeah. I think because we had that a bit lower than what we did the other two.
Righto, so we're cranking things up there. So what we're doing, guys, and sorry, Bear, we'll interrupt
you're
for
right.
a second. So we've taken them off. They got to about 60 internal temp on the 3 steaks. So we've pulled them out. We're going to sit them in foil for a minute. We're going to crank the cookers up to flat out.
Yeah.
So we're going to get them up as hot as we can get them now. So this is the whole sear part of what we do, right? So
And
we're
the
going
drum
to get.
smoky going to open up all the vents. On the Weber, we've opened up all the vents.
Yep.
Full whack.
So you can see we've got on the OKJ we've got an intake vent and an out. All right. So
Yeah,
we
they can't see you.
Hey.
It's black.
We opened both of them up flat out, and so we've got them ready to roll. We'll get them up as hot as we can get them.
Yep.
So we'll give that a couple of minutes. We'll keep chatting,
Yep.
and then we'll throw them back on to sear them off, just to get that nice sear on the outside.
Yep.
And then we're going to cut them up and we're going to try them. And Bear's going to
Bear's
get to try some of our reverse
Should be good.
sear
Exactly, yeah.
Beautiful.
Hopefully it works.
Jeez, I'll tell you what, that was hot. I forgot I didn't have
It
the
would have been,
heat-proof
yeah.
heat-proof gloves on. They bloody got me. Bloody
So it's
thing.
like anything.
Anyway.
You open that up, let the oxygen in,
Yeah.
flame gets higher.
Yep,
gets
that's it.
hotter.
Exactly, yeah.
Is it in car terms, suck, bang, blow?
Pretty much, yeah. So tell us a bit more about pairing your food. So like chicken, what sort of
Okay.
wine would you have with your chicken
So-
or pork or...
Think about the flavour, what it tastes like. And cooks will get this a little bit better than people that are not as good cooks. But if you've got seafood, so you've got things like prawns.
Yeah.
Prawns naturally have got this sort of clean, quite short flavour. They don't linger in your mouth for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a short, sharp, clean flavour. So you want that same sort of flavour in your wine. If you have something really big and heavy, it just sits all over top of the flavour of the food. So you want short, sharp, clean flavours. So you look at things like Rieslings, Sauvignon Blancs, Pinot Grigios, and sparkling.
Yeah.
So that's something with nice acidity, clean, crisp, sharp flavours, no oak, nothing like that. So the more
Nothing too overpowering, but just a
yeah.
Yeah.
So the more complex flavours, so you have creamy pastas,
Yeah.
You have grilled chicken. You can then start to go more towards your oak Chardonnays, bigger, stronger flavoured wines.
Yeah.
So that's going to go better with that type of thing. Things like duck and Pinot Noir are just like the best friends ever.
Yeah, wow.
They're like the perfect match.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So duck and Pinot
Because
Noir.
of the
I might go
fattiness
get
of the
some duck
duck.
tomorrow.
and
Pinot Noir is quite an
very rich
acidic style of wine a little bit.
Yeah.
breaks it down.
So it cuts through that fat.
Yeah.
You have that gamey sort of flavour, that earthy flavours in duck. Same sort of flavours in Pinot Noir. You get that earthy berry flavour. So if you're making a sauce for a duck,
Yeah.
quite often you'll go with a berry type flavoured sauce. Same sort of flavours in your wine.
Tell you what, we
It's
should.
not.
What we
It's
should
not
be
real
doing is
hard. It makes a lot of sense.
we should
when you
be
think
talking
about
to
it.
Bear each week about saying, okay, give us a wine pairing with a food that we're cooking, or once a month or whatever. We'll say, right,
Yeah.
we're going to do this dish. What do you recommend? But it certainly won't be the last time that we have you.
No.
We want to get you in on a semi-regular basis to come and have a chat, and we'll try
I'll
different
come and
things.
sharpen your knives.
Someone
I did
needs
give that
to.
one a sharpen
No,
before
no,
as well.
I was
I
going
know.
to say, no,
Obviously didn't do a real good job.
We
did
need-
I?
I'll come in and I'll teach you how to sharpen
I
a
was going
knife.
to say, we need to
need
sharpen
to.
our act. I don't know about anything
I'm no
else.
butcher.
Hey, so
Well-
someone's already been over to Vinoclock and said, great website, some very reasonably priced wine.
Yep.
You can take my money.
Well, thank you.
Hey?
Anytime.
So there's
And I tell you what,
KFC's tag
Thanks.
taken.
Thanks, Sean.
he doesn't throw it around that much either.
Oh, I was going to say, there's a bloke with deep pockets and short arms.
Yes, because as those that know me, I sort of love to collect knives as well, cook's knives.
Yeah.
So whenever I go for a trip, I sort of try and bring one or two home with me. So I've got a big selection of them, and I finally taught myself during lockdown. It
Yeah.
was good for something,
Yeah.
apart from putting weight on.
I've been trying to get.
I sort of jumped on YouTube and learned how to sharpen a knife properly. And a lot of the knives I have are good knives.
Yeah.
I've got some.
So give us a
I've
tip.
got some
So
really,
here's-
really
here's
good Japanese knives.
Here's one that we
from
didn't
wine
expect
making
to
to
give.
knife sharpening.
Well, give us a tip for the average person out there at home of
You've-
all the research you did.
Yeah, well,
what's the one thing?
you've got to get probably two good stones. So a coarser stone and a fine stone. So that's the grit. They'll talk about a 3,000 grit.
Yep.
So you want something around 3,000.
So we're not talking about stones in your garden, by the way.
Yep,
We're
no.
talking about sharpening stones.
Although I
from
have
the
seen
shop.
somebody on YouTube, they sharpened a knife on a brick.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty impressive. But yeah, so you want a couple of good stones, and you can pick them on Amazon or Cook's Warehouse or any of those places will have decent stones. eBay,
Yeah.
you can
Excuse
buy,
me, Bear,
but
I'm just going to pull that one off.
buy
as
a
well,
decent
mate.
one.
Just wrap it. Have you put that up full?
Yeah, I've turned it up flat out, mate.
Done.
Yep.
And then just watch a. There's a I can't remember his name. He's an American Asian guy. That sharpens his knives, and his technique is great. And you actually sort of drag the knife towards you, and you work it backwards and forwards across the stone. So you put
Play the sharp side towards you.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you actually, when you're dragging it towards, you're putting pressure on it.
Yep.
When you're taking it back, no pressure. So
Yep,
it's
yep, yep.
a little bit like that, and it's just working on it, on the stone, and effectively your stone you want to get. Quite often knives will have like a shoulder. You want to get that shoulder off the knife, so you've got a peak like that, rather than like that, which a lot of knives are.
Yep.
So you want it a bit like that.
Coming from that industry, they do that for a reason.
Yeah.
And that is so they hold a sharper edge longer and they
Yeah.
last longer.
Yeah.
But once you've got it off, doesn't matter. I
But
mean,
well, once
you're at
that's
point-
great. But when it's dull, it's really
Oh, you've got to take it. Yeah.
yeah. And the other trick is when you almost get to the end, quite often. See what happens is that the steel folds over
Yep.
each way. So you've also almost got to do a one side. So you're doing it even ways. So you get that sort of point rather than and it literally, and you can feel when you run your knife through a bit of paper, if you've got it bent over at the actual point of the knife, it'll tear it almost. It can be sharp,
Yeah, well.
but you'll almost tear it.
Nice.
And a steel, all that does is demagnetise it.
Yeah, right.
And it's like a razor blade. A lot of the guys will strop it with a leather strap.
Yeah, like the old barber in there.
Sam's saying sharpen them
Yeah.
every time that you use them.
But when you get a good sharp
Yeah.
knife, awesome.
Yeah.
Makes a
And,
big difference, doesn't it?
And
Oh,
to
yeah.
not put them in the dishwasher, the hand washer.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to get up and I'm actually going to pull some of the internals out of the drum because we have a flame tamer in there and a couple of other bits.
Yeah.
And to sear off, I want to make sure that we're getting as direct a heat as we can.
So anyone that does have one of the drum smokers, Yak out there, I know he's watching us. A couple of questions. So if you're going to reverse sear on your drum smoker, mate, that they do have a flame tamer in there. So the best thing to do when you are going to do that sear afterwards is to take that tamer out so you get that direct heat straight right up into the heat.
See that?
The heat into the meat, sorry.
If I'd have put that on a minute ago, I wouldn't have
You wouldn't have burnt your finger.
Yeah. Sam just made a comment which is awesome.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't stick your good knives in the dishwasher.
Yeah. No,
Hand wash
definitely.
them. It takes you 2 seconds
And I'll be honest, that's
to
probably
run
what's
it
wrong with that.
to run it underneath the hot water."
I know,
with
but
the
how easy
subject
is it when
off,
you're putting
stick
everything
it
else
aside.
in the
The trick
dishwasher?
with that in there,
Please have a decent knife
from
block.
my point of
Yeah.
view, is don't let your kids and your wife touch the dishes then, right?
Yeah, and
Oh, hang on,
never
she
ever.
might be watching.
I was gonna say,
Unlike
good
my
luck with
son,
that
who won't be
comment,
watching either, but don't
Yeah.
ever put your knives in the soapy sink.
No.
Have your hand on it, put it in, clean it, put it on the bench.
I'll be honest, I haven't done that for a long time, ever since I sliced the end of my finger off
Correct.
just about putting it in there.
Correct.
I got him
Yeah.
some sharp knives, and the first time he
Yeah.
used it, he almost lost a finger.
Yep.
did.
Hey, how are we looking to put these back on for
So I
a
was just
sear?
waiting for a bit of heat, mate. How you going on
So
that
we're
Oak
at
Joe's?
170 on there. We're at 300 F on here. I reckon we
Let
can
me
almost
check this
get-
one. Oh, you just keep chatting, Bear.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, look, hey, they're loving you, so it's all good.
Yeah, and Sean said I made the most of lockdown. I don't know whether that's the weight or the knife technique.
Jesus,
Okay, I know. I thought that was a bit hard.
Couple of minutes,
coming-
mate.
They're coming from that bloke.
Yeah, I know. Give it a couple of minutes, mate, and they'll be up there.
I was
and
going to
we'll
say,
chuck them on.
if there's one bloke that shouldn't be throwing stones in this room, right?
But yeah, so it's so think about your wines and what you're going to eat, and what sort of flavours you're going to get out of it. Rich tomato dishes, you want a nice red wine.
Nice.
You know, it's nice and easy.
Sounds
But
good.
but all I suggest to people is try different things.
Yeah.
I know we all get stuck in a rut with, that's my favourite thing.
Yeah. And so you just
Yeah,
stick
yeah.
with the same thing and just keep buying
Yep,
the same
yep,
one.
yep. So people buy the same wine, they buy the same whiskey, they buy the same. You know, it's try some different stuff.
Yeah.
You know, summertime. If you want to try a decent malt whiskey, so it's Altmore, 12-year-old,
Yeah.
about $100. It's a lighter malt whiskey, so for those people that like Japanese whiskey but can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
Yum.
So lighter, it's a Scottish 12-year-old. You know, 12-year-old Japanese. I think Yamazaki's about $300, something
Yep.
like that, $250, $300. Try this Altmore. It's light,
Wow.
it's floral. You put ice cubes in it. And I know it's a bit Neanderthal for some people, but it's hot and it's summer.
See, I like the ice spheres.
Yeah.
The round
they
ball.
just don't melt as quick.
Yeah,
when
well,
you're
that's the
having
trick
it.
to it. They don't melt.
Yeah.
But even that ice will put a little bit of coolness in it.
Yeah.
But it'll go slightly cloudy because it hasn't been chill filtered. It's great.
So you guys,
Seriously
I
good
don't
whiskey.
reckon you guys have had enough of my humour tonight. So
Oh,
I've
Jesus.
got the dad jokes out.
God, he
Hey,
hasn't.
hey, Al,
No,
when you get
please.
up to do the steak, make sure you don't drop it because I want eye fillet, not ground steak for dinner.
Tish. So what's the key to eye fillet? So eye fillet's a tough steak to do
Yeah.
because it doesn't have any fat on it.
No, when
So
when
the
you
fat
say
keeps it moist.
when you say it's a tough steak to do, it's not. The trick with eye fillet is don't overcook it.
Yeah.
Even if you're into your well done steak, don't overcook.
Don't go mental. Yeah.
Go,
See, I'm always the rarer side of
medium
medium.
rare,
Yeah.
medium.
But you
max.
quite often see, certainly, well, tournedos steaks, which is eye fillet.
Yeah.
You wrap it in a rind of bacon, streaky bacon, the end
Yeah.
bit, which has got a nice bit of fat on it, and then you tie a nice bit of string around that. Keeps the shape of the eye fillet
Yeah.
and gives you that fat. So when you're cooking it, and that's quite a good thing to do.
Yeah, nice.
So even try that next time. It'll just give you that little bit of fat through it all. If you get good smoky bacon, it'll
Yeah.
give you that smokiness
we
through
did
it.
keep. We didn't trim any of the fat off there. They've trimmed pretty well when we get
Yeah.
them from the guys that we get them from anyway. But we certainly didn't trim anything off. We've just had a beautiful champagne recently. Ruinart
Yes.
Blanc de Blanc.
Yes, so that's
I'll
owned.
tell you what, Sam drinks some bloody...
He does, doesn't he?
Sam's got a lot
He's
of
got
bucks.
the tequila, the champagne,
Sam, get on the website,
the
mate. So Ruinart Blanc de
We
Ruinart.
need you buying from Vinoclock. Sam, get on there.
So Ruinart's owned by Moet Chandon. So who own Veuve Clicquot, who own Moet Chandon, who own Dom Perignon. So Ruinart is one of their houses. They keep it effectively for an on-premise brand.
Yeah.
For worldwide, so they don't sell it to people like Dan's, but a very good Blanc de Blanc. So Blanc de Blanc meaning white of white.
Yeah.
So it's a champagne made from Chardonnay grape varieties.
Okay.
So normal champagne, French champagne, will be Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and a blend of that, depending on the house. So if you get more Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, it's a richer, sort of more grapey flavour. The Chardonnay gives you that length and dryness.
Yeah,
Because
flattens it out.
cool champagne's cool because it's very northerly in the the northern hemisphere, so it gets cool as you go north.
Yep.
So as Chardonnay gets cool, your flavour palette changes. So warm temperatures like Mildura, something like that, you'll get peaches and tropical fruit. As you get cooler, so you get to Yarra Valley, you get more stone fruit, lemons, limes. You go to Tassie, with just lemons and limes and a lot of that sort of flavour. So depending on what flavours you like in your wine, depends where you buy it from.
Yeah.
Victorian Shiraz, it's a lot spicier, a lot leaner, less roundness to it. Barossa, big, sweet, rich, round.
Big fat Shirazes.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
but different styles depending where you get it from.
Yeah, well.
Hey, so tell you what
That's
we're
awesome.
going to do. We might even flick to the other camera for a bit because a few
Yep.
people are asking what we're doing with the cookers and the meat and all that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
we'll chuck on there. I'm actually hoping that the light's enough over there.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know whether
Looks
it
a bit
is.
dark.
Al, I think we've lost the light a little bit in
No,
the
we're
background.
good.
So sorry if you... Oh, no, there you go. Look at that.
Yep.
It's like daylight.
It is. It's
Hey,
a good,
so
good
what
camera.
I know that I was asked what I was doing over here before, and I just want to show you. So what I've done is I've taken basically the internal flame tamer
I'm hoping it is actually. I don't know if I think we've lost the picture on that.
that sits above the coals. I've taken that out
Yeah.
so that we're going to get that direct searing heat to sear off that piece of steak now.
Yeah.
So I think we're pretty much ready, Al. We'll
I
throw
might-
these.
We're back
I think I'm going to change over to the other camera, Pete, because I think that one's playing up.
Oh, really?
As I did say, we could have a few issues with these today, and I think we have an issue with that one camera.
With that one camera, okay.
Yeah,
so
so-
you're going to have to bear with us on the other one. Sorry, guys. So basically, just explaining, in the drum, I took the internals out so that I've got the grate or the top mesh part directly almost on top of the coals so that we can get that really nice, that grilled marks on the top of the steak. So we're going to pop these back in now. Al's Traeger's up to about 190. I've got the Oak Joe's is up on grill temp, so we're good with that. It's hit the grill bars.
Sorry, Bev. We'll be 1 minute, mate.
You're right. It's keeping me warm. It's cool out here.
Yeah, no, it has
Listen
cooled
to
right
that.
in. Oh, hear that sizzle?
Did you hear the sizzle? I hope everyone heard the sizzle on there.
Yeah, hang on.
I'll try and get out of the road, maybe.
Oh,
ending
hear
up
that?
with it.
Oh, I love that sound. So what we're going to do...
We should have, Al, when are we going to invest in smell-o-vision here?
I know, we should
Smell it
have
nice.
had it.
Tell you what, I wish we could share this with you, but anyway, too bad, so sad, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog looks like he's quite happy to share.
No, I don't think Freddie'd share. I don't think Freddie'd be happy.
Freddie wouldn't share anything. So all we're going to do is we're going to sear those for about a minute each side. We're not going to go nuts, because all we want is that sear mark.
Yep.
So effectively, we've let this rest,
Yep.
and now all we're really doing is making it pretty.
Pretty
So
much.
all we've done...
And giving us that nice crispy crust.
Yeah, but in terms of letting it rest, all we've done is enough to get the temps up on the cookers.
Yep.
So that we get that nice sort of, we get that nice crusty edge and that thing. I'm not going to get up, Al, because I think we need to keep doing these, because
Yep.
we'll pull them out pretty quickly.
You're not going to get up. You're already up, Pete.
So,
Anyway, I need a little stool.
You're not going to get down, Pete. Is that what you're
I
saying?
need a little bit of... Yeah,
You're going to stick to this height.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
so with this wine, so just tell the people what we're tasting a little bit here. So, Al, what do you get out of that?
It's
What-
very fruity. I like
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And it is full of flavour. Like you do feel it,
It's
like
bold.
the whole mouth.
Yeah.
Like you've got that.
There's a bit of dryness in it. Like I
Yep.
pick up dryness really quickly with wines. One of the things that I find is if a wine is dry, it dries my mouth out really quickly.
Yeah.
But think about if you have a coffee It's got that at the back of the palate there. It's got a little bit
Yep.
of that sort of coffee sort of character to it.
Yeah.
Again, Malbec from warmer climates gives you that lovely richness to it, and that's what they want to add to, as I said, to Cabernet, to fill out that middle, but give it that richness to it.
Yeah.
And I tend to drink
But it's just great drinking red.
I think sometimes when I drink, I don't make the most of a flavour. I don't let it sit on the back of my tongue.
Yeah.
Do you want to move in a bit? You're out of shot.
Oh, sorry.
Perhaps that's a
I
good
know,
thing.
yeah, it's probably better anyway. Yeah.
You two blokes were taking up that much of it. I figured
he's
out.
probably further away from the mic.
Hey, I do have one last dad joke for you, and I'll fit it in now because it's great timing. So I went to a steak restaurant on the weekend, Al and
Yeah.
Bear,
I
and
might actually just flip these because
I sat down and the waiter.
while you're doing your gag,
The waiter came over. No, I'll get up and I'll flip this one while I'm talking to you. So the waiter comes over to me and he says, "Excuse me, sir, what are you having tonight?" I said, "Look, I'm going to have your very best steak, the nicest steak you've got in here." And he goes, "Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful, sir. Like, couldn't recommend it more."
Yeah.
Anyway, hang on. I'll give this a flip. And oh, geez, that meter just dropped down into the coals. No, it didn't. That Al nearly
That'd be
had a
handy.
heart attack. I'm nearly had a heart
Actually, you
attack.
probably should have taken the hand.
know.
mic.
Sean wants to know when we're partying.
So anyway, says you got that too, no problem. No sauce, we don't do sauce here. I said that's fine.
Yeah.
He said, so how do you like your steak? And I said, I like it like a winning argument with my wife. He said, so you want it rare? Boom.
They get better. I promise they
Do
get
they?
better every week. No, they don't. They get worse. I don't know.
I think they get better when the drink gets better.
Oh, they do, 100%.
No, I don't.
no,
they don't.
no, they don't.
The interesting thing is, it's like, and
Can I just sneak into your back there on you?
you're right.
I need another set of grabbers because my fingers are sore from the last time.
When you talk wine and things like that.
I'm just removing the meter. I'm not doing anything obscure to the meat, by the way.
For me, I've been doing this for 35 years, and for me, this is what I do. It's my job. Same as if you talk to the tiler, he's going to be able to tell you all about tiles and how to lay a bathroom out and what's the best tiles to use, whatever else.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. That's what your job is.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been lucky to be able to have a job that is also an interest. So that's lucky, but it's also
That's half the battle. That's why
It is.
It's something you love.
But it's speaking to people, and it's reaching out to people that you can go, hey, I like what that guy says, or I understand that. Wine a lot of people talk about wine up here, and it goes straight over everyone's head.
Yeah.
I've spoken to wine people, and I sit there and go, what the hell was he talking about?
What a toss.
Well, basically, yeah.
Did I say that earlier?
That probably sounds like.
But
us after we've
wine
had
can
few
be a
too
lot
many
like
wines,
that.
Yeah.
Because people, they want to impress people
Sorry, mate,
by the big words.
I'm breaking the rules, but keep going.
And
Probably
what
still
you
those
want to
two
try
options
and
as well.
do
Yeah.
is it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic. It's like anything. It's like food. It's about flavours. It's about what you enjoy. If you like the best $10 wine in the world, that's fantastic. You know, you don't need to spend $100 on a bottle of wine. The difference between a $60 bottle of wine and a $200 bottle of wine is not a lot.
Yeah.
And if you have a good palate and you know what you're on about, you're going to go, oh, wow, this is amazing. The average person's going to try that and go, oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
But it's about talking to people where you buy your booze, trying to get somebody who actually knows what they're
That's what
talking
they're
about.
talking about. That's half the problem, isn't it?
Same thing when
Yeah.
you're dealing with your butcher. Go to a butcher that you can talk to.
Yeah.
You know, go to somebody that, you know, cares about what they're doing. You know, same thing with
It's all
you
about
guys.
someone
You
with
actually
knowledge,
care
yeah,
about
yeah,
your
definitely,
barbecues. You actually know what you're on about.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll be able to pick something or a barbecue or a heat beads or whatever it is that's going to suit what that person wants.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, no, definitely. We've
All
got
right.
Pete. I'll tell you what, that
So-
smells so bloody good behind us, doesn't it? Now
Yeah.
it's all come off.
Even the
I'll
dogs.
tell you
The
what I'm going
dogs
to
are
do.
on.
I'm going to cut this up
It's
now.
actually ridiculous how good
So-
that smells.
Bear with me. So what we're going to do, I'm going to serve up 3 plates.
Yeah.
The piece of meat to the left will be the Weber. The piece in the middle will be from the Traeger, and the piece on the right of your plate will be from the Oak Joe's.
So the Weber, just remind everyone, so the Weber was the briquettes. The Traeger is obviously a pellet grill
Pellets?
because that's all they do is a pellet grill. and Oak Joe's Bronco was the Charcoal King's lump charcoal.
Correctamundo. Oh.
So we'll see how they go.
Oh.
How we're looking, Pete.
Oh, mate, that is slicing beautifully.
I'll tell you what, have a look. He put that one on his plate.
Yeah, I know.
It's medium. It's... Oh.
So we've used the coffee spice rub. So
Yeah.
what else have we got there in the rubs?
So Sam's got a couple there. So he's actually got 5, and well, he's got more than 5 because he's actually got the extra hot versions of all of his rubs as well now. So he's in actual fact there's 10. Is that right, Pete? Am I?
He's
Sam's
doing
on, so he'll
extra
probably tell
hots
me if
in.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
But he's got a gentleman's blend. He's got the weekend blend. He has got the split gin blend, which is I'm not a gin
Spilt
person.
gin?
Spilt gin. I always say split gin.
I know, me too.
Every time. And I'm not a gin person, but I did try this split gin blend that he does, and I put it on chicken. I'll tell you what, it was one of the
Spilled
best pieces
gin.
of chicken. I spilled gin, split gin.
Put in.
Whatever.
Well, you know, gin.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Yeah, like gin's an interesting one because again, it's probably the hottest spirit in the world.
Yeah.
Outside malt whiskies, but
It's
gin.
mental at the moment. I can't believe
Yeah.
how many people have
Oh well,
jumped on
yeah,
the gin
well,
bandwagon.
the reason it is everywhere is
Yeah.
effectively you distill it. What most places will do, most gin distilleries, they'll buy in spirit,
Yeah.
a 95%, well,
Cheers,
a
mate.
95% proof spirit, which is effectively high strength vodka.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then they will redistill it, adding the botanicals through it.
Yeah.
A few places, there's a little place out at
excuse
Knoxfield, which is awesome, which
Yeah.
is called Tiny Bears,
Okay.
funnily enough.
Tiny bears.
But
Tiny
they
Bears.
make
Not
their
part of your empire?
no,
or?
no. They make their own base spirit,
Yeah.
you know, and they make it actually out of kale.
Oh, wow.
Kale.
Kale.
Oh, that's it. That's done me.
Oh,
Kale.
I
So-
don't mind a bit of kale every now and then.
so
I've been doing
effectively-
these kale chips.
Yeah, you make vodka,
Yeah.
a neutral spirit, and then you redistill it with the botanicals in
I'll
it.
tell
Now,
you
what the botanicals do, they add the flavours. God, this is smelling good.
As much as I'd love
Hey.
to stay and chat with you,
Al,
Pete,
what's going on
I
here?
think-
I know, yeah. Have a
Little-
look at his
little-
plate. I know.
and have a look
He's
here.
done all right, hasn't he?
hang on, I took the bit that was a bit dry on this one. Okay, so
What does everyone reckon,
okay,
honestly?
so
Have a look what he's done
what I
over there.
want you to do,
And I'm
so
the guest. This is terrible.
I'll tell you, you've done
So
all
when
right,
we're
don't
eating, so
complain,
we're
right?
having it now, right? So do we have a mouthful and then we have a bit of wine, or do we have some
Yeah,
wine
I
and then we
think-
have a
I think-
mouthful of meat?
I think we'll all try left to right. So have a piece of the
Go on, you guys go, and then when you're talking about it, I'll have a
right.
piece.
Yeah.
So let's have a go at the.
No, I can talk underwater.
the
I'll be
left-
alright.
Can you? See, I'm
Which
not,
is-
I'm
this
not
is-
a talker underwater. But
This is the Weber with briquette.
yeah.
Now that's so juicy.
There were good bits of eye fillet. It was a good piece of eye fillet. Does help the quality, obviously.
The other thing that you did, which is super important, it's nice and thick.
Yeah.
You,
you gotta
cut
have a
your
thick piece of
cut your
steak,
steak
yeah.
thin, and it'll dry out to buggery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's good. El,
Yeah, I don't know,
that's-
mate. I haven't tried it.
Have a try of it, and I'm going to cleanse my palate with a little of the Malbec. I've even got the swirl going. Look at that.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, it becomes second nature, and you just do it.
That's
So
really
that-
good,
Because we all spend good money on things. You want to get the best out of it.
but that's really juicy. And mate, honestly, I don't know how Sam's come up with that blend, mate, but I'll tell you what.
Okay,
Every
so
time I have it on stage.
let's have a mouthful of the middle one, which is the one off the pellet grill off the Traeger.
Yeah,
You know, that's probably that is your side of medium. That one, Al.
yeah,
That's a different flavour again.
yeah.
Keep in mind. Excuse me.
That's probably juicier than the Weber.
That was definitely juicier, though.
Now, whether the steak's a
Off the
bit thicker,
Traeger.
but
Yeah,
The cut on that was a little bit thicker. I didn't get them exactly right, but
yeah, see, there you go.
even so, I think
Yeah.
the cooking temp and everything has had an impact. I think the flavour of the Weber one had a bit more. Like it seemed to have that outer crust was a bit
yeah.
had
Yeah.
a bit more flavour.
Probably because it was finished off over that direct heat, like. Whereas obviously
Yep.
with the Traeger you haven't got the direct heat, you've got the sear from the
Yep.
The flavour's
The grill
softer,
grate.
softer
Yeah.
in that one.
yeah.
It's not as...
Takes the edge off
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
wasn't
just-
as. Geez, that they are spicy, not blow your socks. I thought you said sacks off, but socks off.
Socks off.
Blow your
very-
sack off.
Still, someone said the meat's still mooing. No, it's not. It's perfect.
It's spot
Perfect.
on, show.
Yeah. It's actually not too bad. It looks... I think it's the method you cooked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it retains that pinkness in the colour of the
that's
thing
definitely-
with,
So the
without
reverse here,
that
yeah.
rawness that you perhaps think of with medium rare or rare steaks.
So this, I end up with a pretty well done bit off that last one. So don't take my feedback off this.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you did cook that one, so you're already making excuses for it.
Well,
And again, that one's a bit smokier, but
Yeah.
probably it's the driest of the three.
Definitely.
Still nice. Like I like that sort of woodiness that one's got.
Definitely.
I think you'll find that's that charcoal lump. So you
Yeah, it
get
is.
that
Yeah, it's a chunk. Yeah.
that true
definitely.
wood burn charcoal taste, and that's the American barbecue flavour.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
the American barbecue flavour is about.
But I
Yep.
think it also overpowers the rubber bit as well. Whereas with the other two, you can taste the rubber bit more than what you
Yeah.
can than what you have with the charcoal.
Certainly the Traeger was the mildest, the softest, and the most balanced sort of flavour. So if you
Yeah.
want something that's really quite well balanced, then that is probably good, the Traeger.
Yeah.
The pellet grill. I found the Weber probably had the best sort of flavour on the outside.
Yeah.
Wasn't as moist,
No, I
as
think
that
the other
was.
two are a bit more moist.
but yeah, it's for mine, and I'm not a great gauge because I didn't get a good go of the
Here he is having a
I
sort.
know, yeah.
I didn't get a good piece of it off the drum, but it's let me have another go. Oh,
He's keen on the drum, aren't you? It's that charcoal for you. You love the
yeah,
charcoal
I
flavour,
do.
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And even though that's well done. I mean, that's
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
you know, that bit's well done. If I'd have had that off a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
for me, if that was
Yeah,
medium,
I quite like the flavour in that.
Yeah,
the
definitely,
flavour's lovely. There's that
Yeah.
woodiness to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a beautiful flavour from the wood.
and
Pairs well with the wine. Well done, Andrew. Thank you.
Goes well.
yeah, that's good.
So, sorry, Sam, but what happens if you're at home, you haven't got Sam's rubs? What do we use?
www.twosmokingguns.com
And order it in?
Go over to the rubs.
No,
Generally, within 2 days, you'll have it on your doorstep.
you go the old classic.
Beautiful.
If you haven't got a rub and you need to do something, SPG,
With steak. Yep.
salt, pepper, garlic.
Yep.
That's it. So get yourself some garlic powder. Make sure you always got some garlic powder in your cupboard.
Yeah.
Even a little bit of onion powder if you got it. But definitely salt, pepper, garlic are the three go-tos, and probably the basis of a lot of the commercial rubs that you buy.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
See, I'm interesting. For me, now and again, sorry, Sam, but I'd bought a little pepper grinder,
Yeah.
and it's actually a spice grinder one, but I've done a mix of cumin, coriander seeds, fennel seeds, pepper.
Yeah, right. So that adds another flavour
That
profile.
earthy.
together.
It's a lot more that sort of earthy sort of. Yeah, again,
But again,
that's
it was also
me.
like Sam was saying last week. It also depends on how you do grind
Yeah,
the herbs
yeah.
and the salt and the peppers and everything that you are doing.
Yeah.
Like if you do it a bit coarser, then you can get a different flavour to what you do if you're
Yeah,
doing a finer.
yeah.
So like that is true medium.
Yeah.
Like that is really good medium steak. That's the one that come off the Weber.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, we took these off at almost pretty much the
Similar
identical
time, yeah.
temperature.
But the Weber was running a little bit hotter than
Was
what
running
the
a bit
other
hotter.
two were. Yeah.
Whereas the Traeger, that's the rare side of medium. But geez, it's nice. It's juicy. It's flavourful. It's
Mouthfeels wise, that Traeger's awesome,
Yeah. No, definitely.
it's
You've
just-
got, yeah.
and it looks rarer than what it is.
yeah. I don't. This one certainly is a bit, but
Yeah, but it's not in the middle. It's not. It's
it's not
not.
offensive.
No.
No,
definitely
but
not.
meat when it's rare can be a little bit stringier. I
Yeah. It's a
find.
A bit muddy.
No, but that's
Whereas
definitely not.
this is lovely and soft in the middle. Yeah, it's quite interesting.
So all in all, I think it's
Everyone's happy.
we've
The
had
wine's
a
been great. The
we've
meat's
had
great.
pretty successful cook-up tonight, Alan. We've had a great guest on to talk about wine, which is great. So thanks, Bear, and
Pleasure.
welcome to your first ever debut on the 2SG
Smoking
Meatin
Wines.
place.
Yeah.
And it's a more than happy to
Thanks, mate.
help anyone out. If you've got any questions about wine, it doesn't need to be about buying our wines or whatever. If you're not sure about wine, just go to the Vinoclock, send us an email, or send us a
So we know you, Bear.
Yeah,
send
we
us
know
a
you. We
message.
watch you
Tell
on
us,
Two Smoking Guns, yeah.
tell us we saw you on Two Smoking Guns.
Yeah.
If you're in and around Melbourne Metro, we might even be able to sneak it out there without some freight or something. So.
How good's that?
Hey,
Beautiful.
you hear that?
And he's just down the road from me, so I know I'm close enough.
That's
I'm
it.
within his 5Ks as well.
I reckon we're nearly going to have to change this show to 3 fat blokes eating meat. It's
Yeah, that's
pretty
it.
much and drinking booze.
So yeah,
Why
so
not?
more than happy.
Why
We'll
not?
look after you, but send us an email. Let us know. And if you are going to put an order in or something like that, let us know.
Yeah,
And by all means, I'm not adverse to drinking beer and other
I have seen him
Sounds
do
good.
it.
other associated beverages. So
Righto, well, so come on, let's get this thing wound up. We're at what time we got? Are we on overtime tonight by a long way? I can't even
Yeah,
see
we're an
the
hour and a
time.
half now.
Righto, so we're an hour and a half in. We'll wrap it up. But what'd you cook last week, mate? Real quick.
What I did, I did some ribs last week, and then I did. Oh, you know what I did?
Oh, here we go.
we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
Jesus.
What I did do
So now we drunk
is
the
I
wine and
finally
we've eaten
did
the meat. Hang
the
on.
hot sauce.
you're going
So after asking you
gonna
all
put the
the other
recipe
day,
out.
and I tell you what I'm going to do
Oh, here we go.
is you're both going to try this.
You're going to put the recipe on.
Give us your plate. Yep.
Yeah, he's got
If
it.
anyone wants it, I'm not going to give you much because you're not going to need it.
Because it might be a visit to the doctors in the morning.
There you go,
And
there.
this stuff.
He-
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
bloke, he's saying to me, I'm
this
going to
stuff.
make you eat a spoonful on the show.
And this stuff just keeps getting better and better.
It does, yeah. That's the thing.
A mate of mine, his mother used to own a Chinese restaurant, and
Yeah.
she used to make her own chili, almost chili oil or chili sauce.
Yeah. Well, this is my
And
first time doing
this
the
was
chili
the
sauce.
stuff that just blew your heads off. Now I
Holy Jesus.
I'll send the recipe through to Al, so you can pop it on the
Yeah,
website.
beautiful.
What's that
Sounds
on the
good.
Scoville scale?
Oh,
It's a few. So I've got the bird's eye chilies
yeah,
in
no,
there.
that's-
I've got some bird's eye chilies in there, and I've got some habanero chilies in there.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, there's a bit of tomato. There's pineapple in there.
Is there pineapple in there?
Yeah,
Couldn't taste it.
it's got some kick.
it's all right. You just don't need a heap of it.
No, you don't. No, you don't go silly with it. Definitely.
Yeah, I reckon that jar could last about 10 of us about 15 years.
You're taking
Just
half at
quietly.
home, mate.
Oh, wow. How's that got to stink?
So my son and I, we made some.
Young Al,
Yep. We made some.
I love hot stuff. Ooh.
Got the hiccups. chili and mango
Yeah.
sauce, and it was awesome.
Yeah, beautiful.
So I'll send the recipe through
Yeah,
to you.
sounds good, mate.
No,
So you
Lovely.
can send it out to everybody,
So, yeah,
which
no,
is
so-
lovely.
For me, it was just the hot sauce this weekend. I did, and I did some ribs. And the
How
ribs
were the
I'll tell you what,
Brontosaurus
I'll
ribs?
tell you what, those ribs were bloody amazing.
Yeah. They were the,
Actually,
they
some
were
of the best
big,
I've done. They were huge. These ribs, honestly, Andrew, I've never seen. I asked my butcher for some decent sized ribs because I'm always online.
The big
seeing
beef ribs?
No, they were just
Pork?
pork
Is it-
ribs.
yeah,
But mate, they were the ribs themselves were that long.
because you rarely get them now.
No, yeah.
Where they're not just
Oh,
all bone. But
It was
anyway.
unbelievable. And
Righto.
anyway, yeah, come up
So
a
you
treat.
did that. What are you doing this week, big boy? What
This
are you
week I'm
got
doing
going?
support. So next week I've got a bit of a shindig on, which I'm cooking up for, and I've got to feed about 50 people with pulled pork. So I thought I might do a bit of a tester this week. So I'm going to do some pulled pork. For
So you're going to learn how to
myself and the boss.
cook pulled pork this
Oh
weekend?
no, I know how to do it, but I figured I might just
So,
get
pork shoulder?
just get my bearing
You
in.
do pork shoulder or butt?
I'm going to do butt.
You're going to do butt.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do different with it? Come
I
on,
don't
you
know
got
yet.
to keep
I don't know
learning.
yet. I'm not sure,
Right.
but everyone will know.
So for those of you who follow us, I did the gyros last week from the boys at Australian Wholesale Butchers.
No, you got to say gyros.
Gyros.
Yeah, old Tsitsipas held up well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did the gyros. We had half lamb, and I seasoned that myself with some rosemary and some mint and a few other bits and pieces. I had like a basting sort of oil going as it cooked. And we did the chicken thigh with the lemon pepper rub and everything on it.
Yeah.
And it was sensational. Like, we're still living off it now, and the dogs have actually got to enjoy quite a bit of the lamb as well, because we're at the end of it. It's like 4 or 5 days in. You're going, oh, maybe I won't give it another go around. But the bride and I think we had it for must have been 4 meals straight after Saturday night.
Yeah, wow.
So,
Well,
so
it must have been good if you've been able to do it 4 days straight.
we got a fair bit out of it, which was
Yeah.
fantastic. This week I'm going to do something a little bit different, big fella. I'm going
I
to.
know. I saw what you're going to do.
I-
I'm a bit. Yeah.
I may not do it on the weekend because I've just got to do a quick shout out, and the old man's a bit crook. He's
Oh yeah, the big shout out to Neil there, mate. Hope
the
you
old boy's fronting up at
get better, mate.
at the local Aussie tonight, and I hope everything's all right. Love you, Dad, and
take care of yourself, mate.
I'm planning on getting up there this weekend. So whether I get to cook over the weekend,
that's on tape, so we heard that.
whether I get to cook or not, I might even take the little cooker up there and do some
Maybe you
smoked
should cook
meat up
something
there.
up for him, mate.
Yeah, I might.
You
do
might
that.
be able to find some wood chips up there.
I might do that. Although hey, I'll give you the tip. If I served that up to my dad, he would throw it back at me.
I'll tell you what,
that's guaranteed.
We'll give you some chili sauce to take up to him.
So what I'm going to do, my week cook this week is going to be a cheesecake with a burnt sugar cream sauce.
Yeah, wow.
A smoked cheesecake.
Mate, me and cheesecake, it's like my kryptonite.
Oh, I love that stuff.
I don't know what it is.
You and me both. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to have a crack at a smoked cheesecake this week.
So my sister does the best cheesecake.
Really?
Yeah.
Shell, get the order in. I know you're doing your perfumes and everything else, but make one and send it in. Spilt gin, I think they can call that. So Sam, you should send me some of your dessert bloody rub so I can put it in
the cheesecake.
In the cheesecake.
No, the
But
spilled
anyway.
gin I think is same for the pulled pork.
Yeah.
I should actually try that.
That might work too. That'd be alright.
No,
Hey,
I think Sam's laughing at split gin rather than
Yeah,
spilt
He
gin.
probably is, yeah.
hey, I'll tell you. So next week we're going to get back to a beer review. What have we got next week, Al?
So we've got Young Henry's next week.
Number 7 on the Gabs.
It was 7 because we still can't get number 4.
Can't get four.
Your
we can't
mate.
get Larry.
Yeah.
So we're missing Larry. So we're on to Young Henry next week. Unless we get Larry between now and then.
Yeah.
But we'll do Young Henry next week. We might even do it from a special off location venue.
Well, I'll tell you what,
next
if we
week.
do Young Henry, we probably won't because I know that the venue that we're doing is they do their own special.
Well,
brews.
we'll see.
So,
Next
yeah.
week might be. Let's play
See
that
how we
by
go.
ear. We're
Yeah.
waiting on an answer. We'll
Yeah.
see how we go. So that and keep in mind 3 days left of the 2SG Rambling Through Summer promo. Win yourself a $500 portable charcoal grill package. It's got everything in it. It's got our gloves. It's got all the 2SG
Great
merch.
for Easter coming up as well. Take
Cracking,
it away with
take
you.
it away for Easter. I'll tell you, I wish I had one this weekend to take up the ship. Actually, I'd be on a winner.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is go to our Facebook site, like, share, tag 5 of your mates, get over to Vinoclock and like their website because that's just an added extra.
Join up
So
onto the mailing list. Get
Yeah.
5% off your order.
Get up there.
Yep.
And we'll stick a bottle of wine in with a pack
Yeah, hey, look at
beautiful.
that. So Vino
or a pack
Clock
of glass or something.
is going to chuck in a bonus for the
We'll
2SG
toss in
Rambling.
something.
Look at
Yeah.
that. So we're going to get a bonus from these guys in the pack. So get on. You've got 3 days. Sunday night, we'll shut the gate. If you're not in then, you don't get a chance. Next
Yep.
week, we'll tell you who the winner is on the show.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a bloody good Easter because they're going to have a ripping year to do it, right?
Yep, definitely. 100%.
Don't forget, website. You can see it on the bottom of our... Hang on, we've got to go to the next screen. Hang on,
Hopefully.
one sec.
We would if I could make
So
it work.
write that down before we change it. www.vinoclock.com.au.
Yeah, already gone.
Thanks to Mr. Bear, our resident wine expert, for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
Remember, get on
Been
the
fun.
site, www.2sg.com.au or .com.
Yep.
Punch in the code FBLive10 and get your 10% discount for being one of our mates on Facebook.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we love yous. We love Vinoclock. We love I Fillet cooked the way we've done it tonight.
I know, how good was it?
And in the meantime, keep on
Smoking, grilling.
and
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy.
Take care. See you
See
next
ya.
week.
Bye. Sam said he's okay sending a pack.